So
Fool's Paradise, written and directed by Charlie Day, also starring a patient in a mental health facility, gets kicked out like so many do. Here, we could treat you. Can't afford that. You're not a danger to yourself or others. There's a bus ticket, and they just get dumped on the street. A number of interesting circumstances becomes famous. And then apparently, according to the log line, loses it all. The log line sounds it almost has nothing to do with the trailer. The trailer, though, and what I can tell from the storyline from other sources, it reminds me of a Peter Sellers flick called Being There, about Chance the Gardener. Mental challenges, intellectually challenged. Chance the Gardener, the guy whose estate he's been living on passes away, and he gets kicked off the property in a nice suit, and all of a sudden he becomes famous as Chauncey Gardner in Washington, and this looks like a kind of a retelling, just putting it in Hollywood. I'm excited to see this. I think it could be really good. I think it's the only comedy other than my number one where I'm like, yeah, I will go see that in the theaters. The Machine. Actually, the top three of my list are comedies of one short. Apparently, I'm going to be watching a lot of comedies in the theaters anyway, and this is one of them.
Yeah,
really looking forward to this.
When I looked up this movie, when I saw it on your list, it's like, oh, okay, Charlie Day, and then I watched the trailer, and it's interesting. The Charlie Day, this is his directorial debut. Yeah. And when you look at the first time watching the trailer, it's like, oh, okay, so it's a little bit of Dave. It's a little bit of Dave where you have him playing the movie star who doesn't want to go do his job, so we'll find a lookalike for him. And so he's playing both roles. And it's also a little bit of, the mental health thing, the state of the mental health thing. But that's set up for him being found and discovered.
Also a bit of Bowfinger.
Yes, as well.
Yep.
And so I love the aspect, too, of there's a little bit of, this is Charlie Day, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of Charlie Chaplin being channeled in. A little bit of that with
the Tramp.
Yeah, but a little bit of the Tramp, where he's not speaking very much. It's all his facial expressions and his body language, and how he falls ass backwards into good and bad situations. And so we're getting a little bit of that Hollywood mystery.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah, a little bit of the Forrest Gump, but we're also getting the inside look at Hollywood, a sort of cynical and yet fun look at how how fleeting
which we
fame
all
can
can't,
be. Yeah.
Which all can't get enough of.
Yeah. And
it's also Steve Martin, the jerk.
Yeah. So it kind of
fools rise and fall.
Yeah. So all of that kind of working together, and then you see the cast in this film, and you see probably, you could picture Charlie Day calling up all of his actor friends and saying, hey, I'm doing this little independent film. We have a little bit of a budget, but we have creative control to come up with the weirdest
and we're
Hollywood
shooting
characters.
in L.A., so really, I just need you for a day, honestly.
Yeah.
You could drive to the set, because we're not sending a driver.
And you be as quirky as possible. So we're getting a lot of big-name actors playing really quirky roles.
We'll see. Listen, we'll see.
Yeah. This is true, too. They could just be cookie cutter carbon copies, but it does look like a lot of fun. The energy in the trailer's fun. It's upbeat. So I like Charlie Day. I'm not a huge It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia watcher, but Charlie Day in movies is a reliable source of comedy. He's great in the Horrible Bosses movies. So watching his directorial debut is after seeing it on your list, it now makes it onto my list as well. So big Charlie Day fan. So I love this idea of Fool's Paradise. Great title too.
The double meaning, Fool's Paradise,
Yeah.
LA, stardom, celebrity, all that stuff. Like it great comedy can be such a great way to explore themes, right? So yeah, I'm kinda
Absolutely.
jazzed.